So in this video, I played some fighters that I think benefited the most from the changes to the fighter emblem. I've already played Thamus before, and I think he's one of the heroes who gained the most from it, so he's not included in this video anymore. I played 3 heroes here, and all of them are also the most requested gameplays from the comments section. First is Julian. I'm not that good with him anymore because I've been losing consecutively. My win rate dropped from 78% to just 64%. Good thing in this game my teammates were strong, and they were legit mythical immortal based on how they played. Some players have a mythical immortal rank, but their gameplay is like legend or epic, and you can't help but wonder how they even reached mythical immortal. I was actually the one who felt pressured in this game because I thought I might not be able to keep up with them. My teammates were trio queued, and they had real comms. And knowing how important the jungle role is, especially when it comes to major objectives, it added even more pressure. Plus, I was really sleepy while playing since it was already late at night, so I can say that they definitely carried me in this game. I kinda made a mistake here because I killed Guinevere, though I think she would have died anyway. And Glue had just finished using his ultimate, and now he already had someone else to ult again. That's why this hero is so unfair. He's always auto-ban in ranked games, and it's really rare for him to be open. By the way, don't forget that Julian's main role now is Assassin, and because of that, he only receives half of the effects from the unique passive of Rose Gold Meteor. That has a huge impact on him, so even if he has hybrid lifesteal from the fighter emblem, if he can't properly use Rose Gold Meteor, the effect is still minimal, especially knowing that the mage emblem gives higher magic power, penetration, and CDR, which is a big deal for him since he becomes vulnerable when his skills are unavailable. Comparing the mage and fighter emblems, they're almost the same in my opinion. If Julian wasn't nerfed in how he uses Rose Gold Meteor, it would have been really good for him. And about the buff Julian got where they increased his damage to jungle creeps, honestly it's not enough. It used to be 100%, and now even after the so-called buff, I think it's around 85% if I'm not mistaken. Still lower than before, when Julian thrived because he could use Rose Gold Meteor effectively, which now only gives him half of its effects. He can still use it, but it's nowhere near as effective as before, or as effective for other fighters like Alucard, whom I also played later in this video. And just so you know, Alucard's damage to jungle creeps is a 110%, which is higher compared to Julian. Although that's reasonable since Julian farms really fast. But overall, the fighter emblem is good for Julian. It's just sad because it could have been so much better if he could use Rose Gold Meteor the same way other fighters do. But still, it's a nice buff. Just don't expect him to become meta because of it. Guinevere's play there was really solid, and after that, we easily won the game. It's so rare to have a team like this where all of us could have been MVP and all had grades above 10 in that match. But of course, that's extremely rare because later on, I ended up getting a very toxic teammate. But before that game, here's another most requested hero, LEOMORD. Very few people notice this because LEOMORD isn't popular right now, but he can use the fighter emblem really well since he benefits from both skills and basic attacks. Right from the start, Franco was already messing with me and he really delayed me, but I just let it be since I was planning to take the litho anyway. And its respawn timing was perfect. It appeared right after I killed the purple buff, even though Franco delayed me. Plus he was forced to use flicker here, so everything was still totally fine. I was just farming when suddenly our mage got killed, and the enemy Selena was playing super aggressively. Good thing my timing here was perfect, so I managed to kill her. I used Flame Retribution in this game because it feels more optimal when your hero has good mobility and can easily chase enemies. It's better to steal their attack power rather than movement speed for a hero like this. Our Nathan here was actually top 5 global, but he started feeding really early because he played way too aggressively. His hero is meant for the late game, yet he thought he could bully an Ixia in the early game just because he's a top global. Unfortunately for him, that didn't happen, so he ended up getting carried in this game. I was really unlucky in this game because I was always the one Franco targeted with his ult every time there was a team fight, and it was really annoying. Here, I died twice in a row, and it had a huge impact. I felt like we were going to lose, or at the very least, I wouldn't be able to recover. We managed to kill all 4 enemies here, and after that, the Lord was free for us. The fighter emblem worked well on him. I could really feel its effect. Right now, Liamort isn't really in the meta, and it's rare for him to be effective, especially compared to other meta junglers. I think he might need an Angela to reach full effectiveness. But he's still usable, especially if you use the fighter emblem. Even though he's not meta, he's not that weak. Masha isn't meta either, but she's still strong, right? So maybe it's the same for Liamort. Also, when we say a hero is meta, they're priority picks and you can pick them anytime. Non-meta heroes don't mean they're weak. It just means they're not priority picks and you can't pick them anytime because their weaknesses are easier to exploit. Meta heroes have weaknesses too, but they're harder to expose. Weakness is one thing, exposing it is another. This is the game I was talking about. The one where my teammates were extremely toxic, talked so much trash, and kept blaming me. My early game wasn't good, and even though we got the turtle here when I tried to fight, Badong and Kagura full comboed me. But hey, Faramis was close and he had his ultimate, yet he used it super late. I wanted to curse him out, but I just decided not to. The enemy got the second turtle because Kaja used his ultimate on me. There wasn't really anything I could do about it. I still tried to fight here, and even managed to take down Hayabusa. Oops. Actually, Faramis did steal the kill. I was trying to lifesteal from Kaja, but my skills didn't land because Faramis pulled him. And just like that, I died again. Rough start, and I was just trying to take my buff because I was behind. Faramis tried to fight Granger alone and ended up dying. And guess what? He blamed me for it. My skills were also unavailable at that time, and I might have gotten caught too, making things even worse. My teammates were really blaming me just for farming and taking jungle creeps, even though my role is literally jungler. I was already behind the enemy, and my teammates didn't want me to take creeps. They preferred to fight the enemy non-stop without even my buff. A jungler does need to help their teammates, but first, you need to clear your jungle creeps before joining fights. But here, I was just clearing the bottom lane. They started fighting again in the mid lane, and they were going to lose, and of course it became my fault. I wish they would at least check the map to see where their teammates are before engaging. Am I not allowed to farm? I mean, if I'm far away, shouldn't you avoid fighting since you're short-handed? But yeah, I admit I made a mistake here because I kept spamming my ultimate, not realizing it was already gone. I should have been using Litho with my basic attacks to get closer to Granger. Then I ended up reaching their camp, and Kagura was there, so I died. But I think it was time to show my toxic teammates who they were actually trash-talking, and whether their trash talk was even reasonable. Although, of course, they don't need a reason. They'll just blame someone for their own mistakes and stupidity. Did they lose because I was farming? But they overlooked the fact that they lost, because they were dumb. Make sure you guys carry me later because of what you were saying earlier. It would be embarrassing if the player you were trash-talking and cursing ended up carrying you. I was so confused in this game because I didn't understand why I was being trash-talked when I was just trying to take the buff first, before fighting. They wanted me to fight the enemies all the time and skip farming. What's even the point of the role jungler, if that's how it's supposed to be? Have some shame if I end up carrying you later. But it's obvious you don't have any. Your behavior clearly shows how worthless and bad-tempered you are. But I'm not saying you should just farm all the time and never help. What I mean is, you should farm first before helping, and your teammates should follow your pace. I mean, they should wait for you to farm before engaging the enemy, and they shouldn't blame you if they fight while you're not there. It would be one thing if we were really close and you still didn't help, but they were too far, and a kill wasn't guaranteed. Why? Why are there so many stupid and toxic players who are so good at blaming their teammates, even when it's their own fault? Is it really that hard to be a better player in-game? What more in real life? Almost all the kills ended up with me once I started fighting back. I prioritized farming earlier because I had a bad start, so I needed to farm first to catch up with the enemy. It would have been fine if I had a good early game and they wanted to keep fighting, but I was actually behind. But yeah, you can see how strong the fighter emblem is on Alukard this time, and I'm sure he was one of the first heroes you thought of when you heard about the fighter emblem adjustment. It's really good for him. Even though he was nerfed recently, this buff makes him even stronger, especially when he can fully utilize the effect of Rose Gold Meteor. I think it works best as your third or fourth item because its shield scales with level. Also, the max hybrid lifesteal of Alucard's ultimate is reached at level 12, which is probably in the late game. Perfect timing if you build Rose Gold Meteor.